Domino's postgame report is Carson-Newman falls at Wingate 90-79. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck fell behind early, fought valiantly to tie and take the lead a bunch of times in the second half, but you finish 1 for 8 from the field down the stretch. Wingate holds you without a field goal for 5 minutes. What happened in that span that enabled the Bulldogs to rattle off a 14-1 run and salt things away?
Well, first of all, Wingate is a veteran club. We're here on senior day. They have 5 seniors. I vividly remember when we played those guys when they were freshmen and sophomores, owning them like they've owned us the last 2 years as juniors and seniors. So credit goes to them. They're an outstanding defensive team, and we're here on their last home game of the regular season, and the place was packed. I've been coming here for 10 years.
Best crowd
I've ever seen. Place is packed out, and I thought our kids, like you said, fought valiantly. But the truth of the matter is, today they were better than us on both sides of the ball, and they're late. I think it was 74 all, maybe. Pretty late in the second, 74 all, and we could not get a basket to fall, and they did, and that's sort of it in simple terms.
A game in which you rely on the zone pretty heavily, force Wingate to do something that doesn't like to do, shoot threes. They knock down a season high. Is there anything more to say about that?
No, I mean, and again, Kev, you've seen it. You come in here and you play man, I know we can't contain them. That much I know for sure we can't do. So you roll the dice a little bit and you think, well, let's see if we can challenge them to and entice them to shoot the long ball. That's not something they like to do a lot. And today they did it. They did it very well. And, that was a choice. That was a choice that the coach that I made. I don't doubt it. I don't second guess it. I know without hesitation, if we go the other way, we get exploited twice as bad.
You look at what you did rallying. You weather a storm where Wingate knocks down their first 9 shots of the game.
Yeah, that was completely stupid. And I don't mean like stupid on our part, but just completely stupid that they would even do that. They couldn't do that if they were here by themselves. If they were in here alone with us, they couldn't do that. We couldn't do it either, by the way. Maybe their first freaking 9 shots. So, I mean, but we played the percentages and stayed with it. Nobody. Great thing about it, our kids never freaked out. I didn't see a loss of poise. We just kept on playing.
Do you feel like they learned? Because this happened to you, let's face it, about a month ago at LMU, where the rail splitters came out as a buzzsaw, knocked you on the chin, and you're down 33-9.
I loved our response today. I saw it in the huddle. In fact, I vividly remember we come over there, Malik Abraham, who's like all these guys, a work in progress. He's sitting there with still some fight in his eyes, clapping it up, trying to be an encourager. And Ray was saying this, voicing the same thing. There was not at all any like, oh goodness, we're it's deja vu. It wasn't that at all. It was just like, hey man, they started hot. We were doing a pretty decent job, but they're making shots. What do you do? A lot of times people forget that defense does its part, but the only way a team doesn't have a chance to score is for you not to get a shot off. If a shot's in there, there's a chance it could go in. And they were launching them up from long distance and dialing in on it.
You look at the SAC standings now, you look at the Southeast region. Chances are this means you need to win the tournament to make an NCAA tournament.
Without knowing what's happened with other teams, yes.
Wingate has a 2-game lead on you for third. Queens and LMU are tied atop the league leaderboard after the rail splitters downed the Royals in the final second today. What's your approach for mentality heading into these final 2 games at home against Brevard on Wednesday and then senior night on Coker?
Well, obviously we're very delighted that we're back at home. And you and I talked. This has been, in my mind, the toughest 4-week stretch in the 7 years I've been head coach here. Okay, 4 weeks, 6 on the road, 2 at home. We go 4-4 in that stretch. Probably would have taken that beforehand if you'd given it to me. But to go 2 LMU, 2 Queens, 2 Wingate, 2 Catawba, 2 Anderson, 2 Tusculum. You've got, that's just that's no joke. So, I'm glad that we're back home these last 2. This is a big week for us. We have our own senior day event next Saturday, which we're going to enjoy immensely. I told our guys, I want us to learn from these experiences and let it be something that can impact us, help us improve as we wrap up the regular season and head into the tournament. If you'd have told me going into this season with this team, 8 new players, more new players than old players, you lose a Mason Bates and a Dan Bacall before the season ends. You lose your starting point guard 3 games ago.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me we're sitting top 10 in the region, that wasn't my thought going in. I can tell you that. I thought it was going to be a stretch. We didn't even talk about as a team about hosting a first round tournament game. So I think probably if the truth were told to this point, I think we've actually bypassed to some degree expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I like despite the loss today to a really, really good team, I liked and I feel like I've seen improvement in our team's response to adversity. And I saw it as clearly today, more clear today than at any point this season.
Chuck, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you Wednesday at Brevard.
Great. Thanks, Cap.
That's Carson.